With stable draft picks and exceptional communication, the Jade Dragons claimed the 2022 SMITE Summer Masters title, bringing the heat to a Game 5 tiebreaker against the powerful Camelot Kings army. A theme started to form in the Jade Dragons' God picks. Playable characters from the Arthurian pantheon were favoured in the team's lineup, which greatly contributed to their victory at the end of the weekend. Mid-lane wonder Pagon took control of the elements on the majestic Merlin, summoning the powers of Arcane, Fire and Ice on the stand-shifting mage. Merlin's Elemental Mastery ultimate ability allowed Pagon to rotate between different magic types. Each time he made the change, he'd summon an explosion of magic to knock up, slow or damage over time enemies, depending on the element. Eclipse, Radiate and Frostbolt were Pagon's go-to ranged abilities, depending on his current elemental stance. Each dealt their own initial damage, but continued to add more insult to injury if the main target was slowed or remained at the center point of the projectile. Capitalizing on teammates' crowd control abilities, Merlin's Vortex, Blizzard and Dragonfire were Pagon's answer to zone control. Each attack dealt significant area-based damage, among other mechanics, and were often used to clear lanes and snap up eliminations. FineOK, legend among SMITE players, claimed heads in the solo lane game after game with the wielder of Excalibur, King Arthur. Raising his weapon, FineOK used King Arthur's overhead slash to deal heavy physical damage in melee range before sending out a slash projectile in front of him. When comboed, FineOK swiped his God Sword horizontally with Hamstring, hitting all hostiles in a cone shape in front of him. When it came to AoE potential, FineOK unleashed havoc with King Arthur's Twin Cleave and Bladestorm abilities. Enemy players' protections were reduced, while FineOK continued to slice and dice all enemies around him. King Arthur's ultimate ability was able to be changed depending on his current energy count. Excalibur's Wrath launched an enemy player into the air. FineOK repeatedly slashed the isolated player before slamming them back down onto the battlefield. Scream was consistently a threat to the Camelot Kings. During games 1 and 2, he rode into battle on the popular Lancelot. As another stand switcher in the game of SMITE, Scream utilised multiple attacks. His ability table changed when Lancelot attacked on foot or on his steed. Piercing Thrust was used as a quick dash, spiking enemies in a line in front of Scream. When mounted, Lancelot galloped ahead before dismounting. His horse dealt damage and slowed enemies caught in its path. Battling Camelot King's players with his shield, Lancelot's skilled strikes knocked back enemies before hitting them with a swift strike of his lance. This dealt more damage the further away Scream's targets were. When mounted, Crashing Dive rooted all foes to the ground as Scream leapt into the air. On his way back to the battlefield, Lancelot dealt a large amount of damage to all enemy targets in the area. Taking control of team fights, Lancelot's ultimate, the Grand Joust, crippled Camelot King's players inside of a large arena. Scream charged forth into combat, dealing massive damage to anyone in his path, all while recharging his health shield. These three legends from the Kingdom of Camelot helped the Jade Dragons achieve Mount Olympus success and are sure to help you win games in your next match of SMITE.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the amazing esport content from around the gaming globe. Only on Unbeaten Esports.